What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Look, I'm back. You guys are back. Will English did all of this in the back line while we were getting ready for this broadcast. He fixed all of the issues that we had, so a huge shout out to him for that, of course. But we're jumping into a brand new game with two teams that, honestly, I haven't heard much from recently, right? I don't know how they did in week one. I don't recall them making it to finals last year. I'm not positive on their playoffs, excuse me. So I'm really excited to see what these teams are going to be doing with the new slate. Vincent, I know you've got a little bit of insider information before we jump into this.
Just a bit here. Jumping into it, though. Xavier, they were a mid-table team towards the upper end, I think, by the end of the season, but it was a struggle to get there, if I'm not mistaken. This time, though, they're starting out with a 1-0 lead here, and it is Butler, who are also 1-0, but that is due Georgetown, because they had the forfeit win against Georgetown.
Yeah, Butler, they get to put that one in the win column, but, you know, it was a forfeit win. So we're going to see what comes out. And actually, now that I'm looking at Butler's roster, I do recognize these names a little bit more already. Astru and Kai. I don't recognize the name Munch, though, so I'm curious what they're going to be bringing to the table. This is Butler's second year here in the EGFC. And if I'm not mistaken, Vincent, correct me if I'm wrong, they just recently, their captain graduated?
Yes, that's right. Of 3 years, or rather 4 years, captain graduated out, and well, that's definitely been a tough one, but they've said that they're absolutely dominating here, and they're really getting to know each other as teammates.
And honestly, Rocket League, almost more than any other game, is team synergy important, right? You can't be playing as three individuals. You need to be playing as a team of three, coordinated together, moving together. Call-outs need to be on point. We've actually seen that a couple of times throughout the evening, right? As the call-outs were incorrect, we saw some team collisions or some miscommunications that honestly ended up costing some teams a couple of games. So we really want to see a lot of team coordination coming out from Butler, and the synergy is as strong as they say it is. I think we've got some good things in line.
Oh, man, what a bump that was. Xavier nearly falling to that, but nonetheless, a clear comes through. And it's just over a minute, or approaching, I should say, a minute and a half into this game, and we're scoreless still here, Settlins. It's an interesting situation.
Yeah, so this is, of course, I'm going to bring up what I always do here in Game 1. This is what we like to call the feeling out period, right? This is where the teams really like to go neck and neck. They get to decide who's going to be that proactive team, who's going to be that reactive team, who's in the front line, who's in the back line, so on and so forth. And these teams are really getting ready to go. And already almost 2 minutes off the clock. I think that feeling out period is coming to a close. So one of these teams, I suspect, is really going to kind of turn it up to 11 here.
Well, the heat certainly going to be turned up here. It's now Xavier on the attack. But Butler doing a good job, and that's a good clear. It's a 50, though. And, well, back and forth we go.
Yeah, we're just stuck in that back and forth game. Astru with the first real shot on goal I think we've seen so far. Now Mo is going to be able to get it out of there. Munch with that re-engage, keeping ball control in favor of Butler. That slow burn comes through. Astru with the goal. There it is! Off the defender. Astru picking up that first shot for Butler. Xavier, they're going to fall 1-0 just shy of halftime.
Yeah, Astro doing a fantastic job here. Look at this placement. Oh, man, I feel like a broken record on this point today, but we've had some fantastic shot placement, and that is Butler just continuing that trend on the broadcast to pull up the 1-0 victory.
Yeah, I mean, we've had some really calculated, very impressive shots, and we've seen some lucky shots, but Valor there, not going to be quite that lucky. Just some great gameplay coming through out of that center field. Let's see, I think it was past, two defenders. Butler, they just weren't able to keep up fast enough.
Yeah, I don't think Munch was actually expecting a shot on target there. With the MB card, by the way, looking nice. Regardless, yeah, I don't think he was expecting it, and unfortunately, that just means Xavier with an easy answer to Butler's early goal.
Yeah, that's going to be great here. So basically, we just spent our time doing literally nothing in the first half, but in the second half, both teams really kicking it up a notch. Like I said, that feeling period coming to a close. Some great engagement here, down to 2:20, so only 135 seconds left on the clocks. But might be Xavier, no, that double defense coming through. Butler, they've been able to keep it tied up 1-1.
Tied up for now. 2 minutes coming across the wire. It's been Xavier on some fantastic defensive balls, but honestly, okay. Wow. From that angle, that's impressive from Kai.
What do we talk about? Those impressive shots. I mean, Kai just incredible follow-up, knocks it in.
Yeah.
Over, past two defenders again. Butler, that was a chef's kiss play.
It was, and I mean, Kai just in position, doesn't need to really have a lot of power behind that shot.
Right.
Just, redirecting the ball and using the power that was already there in order to take out a victory. So Butler up by 1 once again, as it's about 1 minute 50 on the clock.
Yeah, minute 50 on the clock. Butler, they've found that lead, that numbers advantage, so to speak. Broseph goes for, I mean, the game considered that a shot on goal. I don't think it was, but, you know, the game knows best. 100 seconds left on the clock. Now 100 seconds separate Butler from winning game 1 in a 2-1 fashion. I wanted a game 4 all day, and from what I've seen already, these might be the folks to give it to us.
Certainly been the closest opening game of our games today, and what a nice victory there. And Broseph on the follow-up. Wow! Fantastic for Valor. This is talking about being on point, being aggressive. That's what we're talking about. Aggressing forward, finding that that one touch that dislodges the defense, and then knocking it into the goal off the back of it.
Absolutely. Time and time again, these teams look like they're going to really start running away with the victory, like somebody's really going to run out and take the lead, but then it's immediately stolen away every time. We've yet to see somebody really hold a lead. It's constantly up one tied, and now with only 67 seconds left on the clock, one of these teams has got to win one way or another, and Kai might be the one to help Butler do just that.
Now with his second goal here in game 1, this is just quality stuff. Plays it around the wall rather, and finds the angle. But these angles, well, they're going to have to be even better here for Xavier. They're going to pick up a victory. They're down by 1, and never mind. That's tied 3-3.
Oh my goodness, just it feels. I think I've kind of cracked the code a little bit. Nobody can hold the momentum. Nobody can hold the aggression, right? It's constantly, we talk about proactive and reactive. Neither of these teams get to be proactive because everybody has to be forced into this reactive play style. Now, 60 seconds left, 3-3. This is the highest scoring game we've seen so far that wasn't completely one-sided. And off the kick, it's Astro picking it up, bringing us our 7th point, the 4th one available for Butler.
Outrageous. This shot is so fantastic. I don't even know what to say about it. It's just so
I think outrageous
well
is a good word.
Placed. And yeah, with that, Butler up by 1 once again, but that's rarely lasted long.
I mean, can we even say rarely? That hasn't lasted more than 20 seconds
True.
up to this point. I mean, it has just been time and time again. We've seen these teams come through, constantly tying things back up. Now, 42 seconds on the clock, 4-3. It's going to be all about who finds that next opening goal.
Indeed, as we look towards the back end of this thing, 30 or so seconds, but that's another goal. Though I'm not sure who was my, well, I'm back. Okay, there we go. Apologies, lost our little feed there for a moment, but it's actually Butler to take it, and not sure how it happened, but that's a 2-goal victory for the first time.
Yeah, what a weird thing to say. A 2-goal victory for the first time. This has been so back and forth. 1-1, 2-2, 3-3, but now 6-3 as Butler has chosen the last 30 seconds to really run away with this series. It's crazy how close it was and how quickly Butler slammed the coffin down.
No, they literally, Xavier's like knocking on the door. Hey, is anybody home? They peeked it open just a little bit, and Butler has slammed it straight back into their face.
Yeah, absolutely.
For absolutely no reason. And well, Xavier's, they're reeling at the moment, but it's 22 seconds on the clock. No way they could get 3 in this time.
I mean, to be fair, we just saw Butler get 2 in 10 seconds, right?
True.
I mean, so it's close, but I agree. Now that we're down to that final 10 especially, you know, it was hopeful of me to think that to begin with. So this is going to be a great level of progress coming out. We're seeing it in favor of Butler. Yeah, that's going to be it. Butler, oh, okay. I love the sportsmanship to just let the ball hit the ground. You knew it was over. You're ready to take it all the way into game 2. And I talked about, you know, oh, I want to see that game 4. I want to see that progress come through. But Butler, they just like unlocked their 6th chakra at the end of that game. Like their non-sponsored gamer liquid like really activated there for the final minute of that game. They found 4 in less than a minute, I think.
Outrageous. Yeah, I mean, definitely impressive. There's no doubt about it. But also Astro, the hat trick. 3 of those goals going to them. Fantastic look. There from what may end up being a star player. To be fair, don't necessarily know, but I mean, really impressive. Also, to talk about just a little bit regarding Xavier. Listen, they didn't pick up the victory there at the end, but I don't know what happened to Butler. I don't know, like you said, non-sponsored gamer juice, whatever it looks like. I don't know if that's what it was, but whatever they're doing, they need to keep on going because they just turned up at the very end. It was out of nowhere. You were right. 1 minute, 4 goals. easy as pie,
Yeah.
I guess, if you're Butler.
And it's crazy because it didn't even feel like Butler playing with their food, right? It didn't feel like they were like,
No.
oh, like let's let them score a couple. Like, no, the Butler was fighting for it. But all of a sudden, in that final minute of the game, they just like remembered how to play Rocket League, I guess. They came out so strong, so impressive, and honestly, jumping into game 2, if they keep that up, this is destined to be another 3-0.
Yeah, and granted, remember, that was still game 1. So, I mean, in
Yeah.
all fairness, you could be talking, some warm-up, a little bit of this, a little bit of that going in to, what was happening in the early game there, and then by the end, Butler just kind of found their feet, got warm, and got going.
Yeah, they have got going indeed, my friend. They are just doing an incredible job so far. Now, almost Valor there, looking for just that, trying to give Xavier a great startup, going for that reset as well off the crossbar. Here comes again that tertiary try, that third attempt coming out from Xavier. Stuck in the corner, Kai finds the disruption, steals ball momentum away, and clears it down toward the goal of Xavier. Butler, they are looking to put this first point away, but Sir Brosif, the name that I feel like I've said 1,000 times before, trying to make a world of difference here for Xavier.
Yeah, Brosif certainly has been a big player for Xavier. Has really done a fantastic job of being a difference maker. But right now, well, it's mostly just a back and forth. A minute in, no goal scored. This is very reminiscent to the beginning of game number 1.
Yeah, so I mean, was there truly any feeling out period, or was this just simply the way these teams had to engage, unable to find the aggression that they've been looking for up to this
patience.
point? But both teams, with this patience that you were just kind of talking about a moment ago, this feels like each team is adapting, but they can't stop because the other team is adapting, right? We're just pushing this so far to its limit. Now Astru has to get super careful, trying to find their way out of it. It's going to be Mo coming around, trying to help out Xavier find that goal, but instead it's cleared out by Butler once again. Brosif, perfect place, right time. Still hanging out at that 0-0 lineup.
Yeah, nice clear initially. But Munch gonna knock it down. Butler up 1 game, up 1 score in game 2. And you can see just a nice little handoff. Nobody's really in position. You thought that, I forget who it was there, you thought that the defender for Xavier was going to be able to clear that away. And I think that's why nobody was back. But Butler take an initiative, swing, and they pick it up.
Yeah, they have picked it up indeed. The momentum once again in favor of Butler. And I'm thinking that may have been Munch's first goal. I don't remember seeing them score yet. If it's not their first, it's their second. That much I'm sure of. So Munch making an appearance, getting that level of hyper-aggressive that you love to see, really helping out the team do exactly what they need to. Sir Brosif, though, with the help of Mo, they just walk that one in.
Okay, so this is really unfortunate. I think this goes on the lucky tier, all right? Just barely edges against Mofansky there. And because of that, Butler can't read the ball. Their read was entirely wrong. It got redirected. And it was the slimmest of margins that Mofansky hits that ball. So I don't want to call it entirely luck-based, but definitely the bounce was big lucky.
Yeah, sure. I definitely think perhaps it was lucky that Mo was there, but I do think Sir Brosif had that one, or Sir Broski, whatever it is, I don't even remember. I think they had that one lined up, but who cares anyway, because Butler, they've got something to say about what just happened coming through there. Some great aggression in the blink of an eye. Again, we're looking at such a similar scenario, tied up 1-1, and then all of a sudden, one of these teams going to keep taking the lead. I feel like we're going to get stacking up these points once again.
Yeah, and that is a scenario, right, where we can't even finish talking about the analysis of the prior goal. Butler already answering back. That's where they're at. That's the mindset that they certainly have had and continue to have. It's quite impressive. Yeah,
no doubt about that. These teams, one of my favorite things about the EGFC is I don't think I've ever seen a team not give their 110%. And I feel like you don't see that everywhere, right? But every single team in any of the games that I've worked with here in the EGFC, they give it their all until that final buzzer, until that final moment. And every team we've seen so far today stands up for that exact same thing. Now, Mofansky goes down early, but somehow still counts the shot on goal, even though he was out of the fight. Oh no, the slow roll. Kai has to go for that heavy commit. Able to pick that one up. It's going to be a great opportunity here for Butler to turn that momentum. It's going to be Munch on the side, but Sir Brosif already there to interrupt.
A good breakaway. Never mind. I was saying a breakaway, but nonetheless, these midfield plays have been sort of a scenario where nobody has really been able to be dominant in it. It's been back and forth, and that's a wide open goal. Every time we say it, every time we talk about somebody not scoring well or not a great kind of turnaround, they hear us. I swear they hear us. I mean, that's just a very nicely placed shot from midfield. Astro just says, hey, look, there isn't anybody back. That's the old chipperoo over the shoulder, and there's nothing they can do.
Oh man, speaking of nothing they can do, Astro here is going to be going a little bit hyper-aggressive. Goes for that backspin, trying to get some momentum there for the team, but instead, Butler, they get to keep the momentum moving forward. Oh, actually, going for a bit of a long play here in center field. Xavier, they've got the numbers advantage currently, but a great disruption from Sir Broseph there. That could have very easily been that 4th point for Butler.
Feels like really Butler just kind of edging along here. Everything an attempt, everything awful close to that 4th point that you're talking about. Nice little center ball there from Mafansky, but it's not going to be enough.
Yeah, not going to be enough quite yet. These teams, I feel like they've been so neck and neck, but somehow, some way, Butler, they really get to turn this one around.
I mean, with the lead they have with 35 seconds on the clock, excuse me, and it feels like it's so hard for Xavier to get back in here. They've already been struggling on the attack side of things, and they continue. Yeah,
absolutely. It has just been, it feels like every time we get to a certain moment of success, a certain level of success, so to speak, Butler, they find it, they just take all the success. They don't share with Xavier when they get down to the final moments. When we break down kind of the logistics of it, it's always this last minute the team starts to shine. And now it hasn't been the offense this time, but the defense has been very strong from Butler in this final minute. It's almost like they play at 90% until those last 60 seconds, and then they kick it all the way back up.
You know, it's one of those moments, right, where Butler, they take the last little bit of energy that they've got, and they're putting it all in at that last moment. Whatever that is, it's working brilliantly. It's 2-0 here as Xavier. Well, I thought that they look strong coming into this thing.
I agree.
You know, in fairness, it was a very close series that they had against, I believe it was DePaul in the first week, right? And you know, fair enough. Yeah, it was a 3-2 series against DePaul.
Dang.
So it was very close, but they were able to pull out the victory, and I thought that really would mean that they could then work off the back of that. But right now, it's just been Xavier on the back foot. I don't know precisely what their biggest problem is, but one of the big things to note is that they got to figure out a way to shut Butler down on their offense. Their scoring potential is just so high.
Yeah, absolutely. The scoring potential is insanely high, and if Xavier can find any way to shut down Butler, like you said, maybe it's a little more physicality, maybe it's a little more demolitions, maybe take the ball into the sky a little bit. I feel like we have not seen a lot of aerial gameplay, so maybe just switching something up here could really catch Butler kind of off their guard a little bit, off their footing, so to speak. And I would love to see Xavier take us to a game 4. It's feeling like we're going to get 4 3-0s in a row, but fingers crossed, Xavier, they're my saving grace to bring us to a game 4.
Well, I mean, listen, the good news is if we don't get a 4th game, we got plenty more Rocket League to go today.
True.
Just the same amount of games as we've had. Already going to be a goal. Butler! And it's Astro. Had a hat trick earlier on. Has been playing incredibly well since. I think 2 in the last game, and already started with 1 6 whole seconds in.
This feels like one of those games where like nobody else is getting to play, right? It's just Astro all day long so far. Just goal after goal. There really was some momentum from the rest of Butler earlier, but so far, I mean, Astro is just tearing up the battlefield.
A one-man army, it feels. I mean,
Truly.
In fairness, it's not just one player playing. You know, Astro definitely helped out by the teammates there, but nonetheless, a fantastic, at least goal-scoring one-man army.
Yeah, at least when it comes to goals, it's a one-man army, but I have to agree, the rest of the team so far, I mean, they're just feeding right into Astro's hands, right? That's exactly what they need to be doing. And we always talk, oh, was that? Hold on, let's watch that back real quick.
Yeah, I think I saw what you saw as well. Let me just double check here.
No, okay.
Nope.
Okay. I thought that was an own goal at the end there. I just barely missed the clip, and I thought Butler put one away on themselves.
I thought the same, but no, it was just a very nice little move there by Bruce. He talked about the aerials, and that was a nice little aerial move to give the tied game back over here with just under 4 minutes.
Yeah, 4 minutes remaining. We're already tied up 1-1 in what could very well be the final game. But Butler, they've got to win it first, right? If Xavier wins this, they take us to that coveted game 4. Now Valor, speaking of the devil, Xavier looking to win it. We talked about wanting more aerial gameplay, and there it was. Valor juggles that ball across the entire field, puts it away in goal, bringing Xavier up 2-1.
Yeah, just really good touches, really good aerial control, and fantastic movement. Xavier, they've got a lead here, and this has been a rarity. Butler usually the one in control, not this time though.
Yeah, definitely a change of pace coming out here. We've seen so many times Butler, they found the momentum and they got to kind of run away with it, right? So if Xavier never allows them to find the momentum, forces them to constantly play to what Xavier wants, if Xavier becomes that proactive team, I think they win this.
I think you're right. I mean, I think there's definitely that possibility. Xavier, they've been good at adapting, and adapt they have been.
Yeah, their adaptation has been on the spot, just incredible, both forward and back, above and below. Like I always talk about, the physicality of Rocket League is such an important thing. And Xavier, I think they could still be getting a little bit more physical, right? I feel like they're still playing a little bit on the slower side in terms of offense, but you know, if they find the goals, that's what matters at the end of the day.
That's exactly right. The goals do indeed really win you the games, obviously, is, well, another midfield battle going to continue. Long ball feels like Xavier, they've been forced back a little bit here in the last 30 or so seconds.
Absolutely. There's been a lot of back and forth here in Butler. It's interesting because going into this game 3, and of course, I don't know the players, so I don't know if they're doing this, but you'd expect players to go in with like a bit of a hubris, right? Almost a bit of a confidence. We won the last 2, we're only 1 away, and now Xavier, perhaps they're capitalizing on that. I just think they're looking cleaner here in this game than they have the other 2 that we've seen. I feel like they're really starting to wake up, that esports factor really kicking back in.
110% Xavier are looking better. They have been looking better, and there's an even better clear there by Valor, but it's, again, short-lived. That's been, I think, the difficulty here for Xavier the last minute or minute and a half. Is their clear is a little bit lackluster, only going towards midfield before they've been rebuffed in towards their own side once again.
Now 2 minutes left on the clock, and we're in that scenario where Xavier doesn't have to score. They just have to make sure Butler does not, right? That is, it's so simple sounding, and I know that no collegiate player is ever going to not score if they have the opportunity, but it really comes down to Xavier. They just have to play their 110% defense, right? They just need to become that stone wall, that iron wall, if you will, to really keep themselves alive. Butler, I think, I don't know, the odds of us going the rest of this series without at least 1 more point, it seems unlikely.
It does, doesn't it? Considering the amount of points scored prior to this.
Exactly.
You know, minute 20, it's not that long, just 80 seconds, so possibilities do indeed abound. That might be the reality. It's another clear towards the Butler side. It's met by Kai.
65 seconds remain here. Xavier, they're trying to play that defense. They're even looking for the 3rd goal to give themselves that 2-point cushion here in the final 60 seconds. But the final 60 seconds is where we saw Butler tear it up every game so far. And it begins once again. Astro coming out, able to find that 2nd goal for Butler, tying things back up 2-2 in the final 60 seconds of the game.
Yeah, as soon as you said it, as soon as it ticked under that 60-second margin, Butler turns up, and they turn up big time. 55 to go here in game 3. Oh my goodness, it's down to the wire.
Down to the wire, I think is the perfect way to put this, right? Xavier, they are desperate. They want this round win like they want their next breath. They are trying to win the series. They are trying to force us into that game 4, maybe into game 5, but of course we have to get there first. Who knows? Maybe we have the first overtime that we've gotten to see all day.
Yeah, and this would be the start of a reverse sweep, but with 30 seconds left, OT, like you were talking about. Oh, it may be on the cards. What? We've seen magic happen, and we can see it continue here.
I would love to see in overtime, honestly, because that's when this game is obviously at its peak of entertainment, peak of interest.
Yes.
And Munch almost just got a goal beyond the grave. Valor was just barely able to show up in that time. 6 seconds remain, and of course the overtime I believe will start as soon as we hit 0, so we're going to have to see what is brought to the table here. And the ball does have to touch the ground first. I always forget that. I don't know why, but now Kai coming through, trying to spike it down. Perhaps Munch goes for the shot, but nobody's there to catch it. Everybody reset into that overtime, tied up 2-2. This next shot decides, is this the series or will we see a game 4?
Sudden death, and indeed one goal to just determine them all is Xavier looking for it, but it's cleared once again.
Oh, I hate when teams clear in front of their own goal like that. That was a prime opportunity for Butler to score. Now, luckily enough, nobody had the boost. Nobody could get there fast enough, but talk about prime opportunities. No! Oh, I thought Valor had it, but Astro. Perfect timing. Now here comes Mo, rocking the Batmobile, trying to keep the ball alive in the back third of Butler. That tied up back-to-back. The momentum stolen once again. Kai into Astro, into the midfield. This is going to be it. This is going to be that shot on goal opportunity, but no! Stolen away once again! Kai steals it back. The tap in, no. Mofansky is going to be there to keep the game alive. Munch goes for the setup off the side of the goal, and nobody's there to catch it. Oh, is that it? No! Kisses the left of the goal. Valor with the save. I'm on the edge of my seat on this one. I got some goosebumps. Is that it?
Oh, Kai!
Oh, come on!
So close!
Kai, so close yet so far away. Xavier, they have turned their defense up to 100 here. They are not letting a single attempt get through. Kai goes a little bit wide to the left of the goal once again. Here it comes, Kai for that
Double
secondary
tap.
attempt. The double tap. No, he misses the ball.
Oh, that's tragic. Now a minute 15 into OT, still anyone's game. Xavier now look towards the attack, but it's a 50 in mid, and Munch gonna get that control. Shots on goal, so many of them here for Butler. Xavier, they need to turn this around. They need to get their opportunities in.
Yeah, the opportunities are exactly, of course, what these teams are looking for. And Xavier, they have just turned their defense up to 11. Now we need to see that same progress with the offense. Butler, they're just staying aggressive as always, blocking when they need to, but scoring when they want to. Just intense aggression coming through all the way. Mofansky finds the ball center field. Now here comes another attempt. Oh, great demolition there from Astro. Gives that 3v2 advantage for just a moment of ball control for Xavier. Tied up for Sir Broseph. Munch goes for the shot. And Mofansky, right place, right time, keeping the dream alive. We are now 2 minutes into overtime. I literally have no idea which way this is going to go.
What a missed opportunity there from Munch. It looked like if he'd have been able to get his body around that just a little bit more, it could have been on target, but not going to happen. As Butler looked to re-attack. Oh my goodness, down to the 30-second mark as well, and 2.5 minutes in.
Oh, it's going to go to the right. We're getting to that point where, like, overtime was interesting, but we're half a fourth game into the series. We really need somebody to put a point away here. This is going to be that hyper-aggression. Now, again, Butler, all 3 of them alive, but it's stolen away by Valor in that final moment. Sir Broseph goes for the setup off the right side of goal. Where's the follow-up? There it is. Where's the defense? Is Kai going to be able to make it? Going to be knocked away by Valor, unfortunately. Kai there to save the day. 3 minutes into overtime. Somebody has to walk away with a win.
Yeah, and well, that's somebody wanting to maybe be Butler. Munch going to be there for the defense once more. This defense here for Butler has been on top of things. Oh, and it continues. Kai with a big clear and a big touch.
Sir Broseph just trying every trick in the book, and none of them have been able to land quite yet. Here comes a secondary attempt, but already stolen away by Kai. Quick as lightning in and out the door. Here comes some more action coming out. Astro trying to make that appearance. Somebody's got to score eventually. We are now almost 4 minutes into overtime. And if Xavier scores, if they win this game, we've got to go at least to a game 4. So we're waiting for Butler to put this one away to end the series. But Valor in the right moment. Astro cannot catch the ball. Going to go straight up. Here's that versatility, that momentum upward that we're talking about. Stolen away already. Valor into Sir Broseph. Kai not able to find it. Oh my goodness. Come on, Sir Broseph goes for that attempt. Goes for the bounce. Is that it? Oh! Off the corner, off the crossbar. Whew. I'm running out of energy here. I'm running out of steam.
Oh, man. I mean, I can feel the tension in the air as Butler.
That's an open goal.
No way, Valor with a fantastic save. Saving the game for Xavier for now.
Oh, man. This has been so back and forth. These defenses have been nothing short of flawless. These offenses just cannot break the walls down that have been created before them.
Another center ball there. Oh my goodness, so close. And now it's back to Butler.
My goodness, it's just being passed back and forth so much. I literally cannot. I'm like on the edge of my seat. I'm like shaking a little bit. I don't know if that's my blood sugar or what, but either way, I am hyped to see how this game ends. We are entering the 5th minute of overtime. We are a full 4th game into the series here. Butler, they've got ball control. Cerbrosive with a great momentum to swap, but here comes Astro. Desperate to turn this one around, keeping it in the back third of Xavier. An open goal here. This needs to be caught out. Mofansky! Oh, the crossbar going to be able to catch it. There it is! 5 minutes and 2 seconds brings us all the way to game 4. Xavier taking the 3rd set, 3-2, 5 minutes into overtime.
Holy cow, 10 whole minutes of gameplay.
Oh, man.
And Xavier pick it up. They deny the clean sweep for Butler. Wow, absolutely impressive here for Xavier. What mental fortitude that they have had to stick into that game, to continue with the impressive defense all the way through. I am flabbergasted that they were able to hold on, and even more impressed that they continued for so freaking long.
Yeah, I mean, flabbergasted, bamboozled, dumbfounded, whatever you want to call it. It is simply amazing. They held on. I loved what you said. The mental fortitude of a 5-minute overtime, a 10-minute game. Double what they expected going into that. They almost lost. They were able to cling to hope for an additional 5 minutes and force, for the first time today, not only in overtime, but a game 4. I'm so hyped. Xavier, they have found their chi. They are ready to come in swinging, and I think Xavier can take us all the way to a game 5.
Oh, man, the hard part here is, number one, who's mentally drained from that? That's the real question, right? But, I mean, you and I, we're here in the commentary booth. We're not even playing the game. We're not even focusing as nearly as hard as these players are. And we're feeling the drain of a extended OT like that. Is it going to be Butler who has run out of gas, or Xavier? Have they refilled the tank? Are they back in business? Is this the beginning of the reverse sweep? Well, we're here to see it. Game number 4 is underway.
Yeah, get those brooms out, folks. Keep them around, because there may be a reverse sweep on our hands. And I also want to talk about real quick that last game, there were 11 shots on goal from Xavier, 17 from Butler. So so many attempts of shots on goal there. Butler really trying to remain in the driver's seat in terms of aggression, but really Xavier, I mean, they are really giving Butler a run for their money at this point.
Yeah, that just kind of goes to show you the Xavier defense and how fantastic it was. But this time, they threaded that needle much through the defender. Nice little attempt, and unfortunately, Brosive kind of bumping the ball up there. It wasn't on purpose. It was an attempted clear, but it was an unfortunate scenario because that does set Butler up for a fantastic look.
Yeah, I mean, a fantastic look indeed. And you've got to wonder, is Xavier going to be able to make this all worth it, right? They fought so hard, a 5-minute overtime. They forced a game 4, but Butler already finding a goal that early. The momentum out in favor of Butler here. Cerbrosive able to block out that second shot, keeping the score only separated by 1. But Xavier, I mean, they've got to win this one. They've got to make it all worth it.
That they do. We talked about mental fortitude, and here's where it comes so clutch if you are able to stay in there. Good communication there on who's going to grab that ball, but a nice rebound means that, this could have been a goal. Wow. But a nice clear happens.
Yeah, an incredible clear at that. And I know some of these players, we're talking about mental fortitude, I know some of these kids are out there doing finger exercises before they pick up this controller, so they've got to be the physical end of this. It's got to really start getting to them at some point or another. We're here in game 4. We had a 5-minute overtime, so we're basically in game 5. I mean, this has just been such an elongated series that I'm not sure anybody expected going into this. But now, 2 minutes out of game 4, Butler finding themselves up 1-0. Honestly, I'm not ready to say this game goes either way until those final 60 seconds.
It's hard to say, and especially those final 60 seconds being as impactful as they have been. But Xavier, they've yet to answer the call just yet. Now, granted, they've had some good opportunities, and there's another one. And it's going to go through.
There you go. Your wish is their command. Able to pick it up immediately there. That was such a clean pass as well. Mo realized they couldn't get it, and Cerbrosive said, "Hey, I can." Put it away. Able to tie things up 1-1 here. And again, I'm not ready to write anybody off until we are deep into those final 60 seconds.
No, I'm right there with you. That's been the reality here the entirety of this series, and it's been a fantastic one, a close one, and an impressive one. Butler, it might say 2-1, but this has just been so close.
And we've got to think every game has been so
demo.
close so far, which doesn't sound real because it was a 6-3 in the first game, but they scored 3 of those in the last 40 seconds of the game. So it was so close up to that point. Xavier, they won only by a single point in a 5-minute overtime. I mean, these have been so neck and neck so far that I think there's a world where Xavier takes us to that game 5.
Yeah, I definitely think that's a possibility. But that reverse sweep, well, they're going to have to come through this game first. Nice little dodge there by Munch, but it's going to be answered by Valor, meaning that Xavier are continually pushing forward, looking for these aggressive touches.
Yeah, these aggressive touches, I think, are exactly what these teams are going to be looking for in an attempt to succeed. Butler is currently kind of in the driver's seat once again. They've really found themselves in the lead. Broseph chooses not to go for the engage, so great. We can see the team communication there, right? They must have known Valor was behind them. So we see some great progress and some great communication coming out from Xavier so far. Butler, I feel like they're just such an aggressive team, such a pedal-to-the-metal team that it's really getting tough when Xavier's starting to adapt to the plays they're bringing out.
Yeah, I think we can see that happening in real time based on how many more midfield battles we're seeing.
Right.
Before, it was a lot of Butler on the attack and staying on the attack, but now Xavier, they've sort of learned, they've made adjustments, and they're going for these more aggressive balls, and it's showing.
Absolutely. Going for these more aggressive plays from Xavier is making a world and a half of difference. We talked about that in the beginning as well. We commented on how they were playing a little slow. Their defense seemed to be kind of their strong suit, but the beauty of Rocket League, you cannot win this game with just a good defense. You need a strong offense. Xavier, they are really trying to show us that they do have that strong offense in their back pocket.
Well, I'm going to have to show a little bit more here. 40 seconds on the clock. It's still 1-0, that complicated 0-0 like you like to say.
I love it.
Oh, man.
Oh! What?
The double tap, is that what it was? I think so.
I literally need to watch that back. Hold on. Broseph into Valor, into Serb. Wow, clean as a whistle. Into the ground. Kai wasn't able to catch it. Xavier, they're up 2-1. There's 35 seconds left on the clock.
This man just served himself up, but alley-oop.
He really did.
Outrageous from Xavier.
Clean as day, coming through, like you said, served himself the alley-oop, does not need the teammate for that double tap, for that follow-up, and now Xavier, they've just got to play smart, they've just got to play careful, and it doesn't matter. Broseph, he's actually decided that he's bored of losing, and he wants to force us all the way into that game 5, putting a 3rd point online, 20 seconds left for Butler to respond, or we're going to game 5.
He said I can do it with my left hand too. Don't you worry, I can go left, I can go right. Xavier, they are going to be pushing us to a game 5. I feel it. It's 20 seconds left. Butler going to have to pull some craziness to stop this from happening.
Butler's going to have to pull just the play of a lifetime here to keep this game 5 from happening. But folks, if you are a Xavier fan, I'm going to say it again, get those brooms ready, because if this team keeps up, we are looking at a reverse sweep.
Oh, and no, here we go. It's happening. We are asking for it all day long, Septilence, and we're getting it here. Now, this would be a storyline of all storylines. Remember, I said, guess what Xavier won last week? It was a game 5. It was 3-2 versus DePaul. Wow, what a storyline if they were to bring it back once again and pull off another situation where their game 5 victory reverse sweep fashion.
I want to make like a reference to Smash Ultimate, but I don't think anybody's going to get it. I want to call them like the MK Leo of Rocket League, because he always loses the first 3 games and then comes back and reverse sweeps every single time. It's like his shtick, if you will. So that's really what we're feeling out from Xavier so far. They lose the first 2, super close both times. They win I've literally lost track. They win the 4th game, super close, super well-handed there. And
OT?
Now... Yeah, that's the 3rd game. That overtime really messed me up. They win the 3rd game in that overtime by a single point, 5 minutes deep. And now game 4, they win by 2 points, bringing us all the way to that coveted game 5. Let's see if they can walk away with a 3-2 victory 2 weeks in a row.
Man, that would be incredible to see. I mean, what a privilege to be here to watch it twice in a row, too, to be honest with you. I was there last week, and we're coming in this week for it as we're getting underway here. Somebody's walking away a winner. But at the end of 5 minutes, who will be ahead? It feels like it's anyone's game. Maybe Xavier have the advantage considering that they've taken the last 2 maps in a row and that overtime.
Yeah, when it comes down to advantage here, it's kind of a tough thing to analyze, but it really comes down to momentum, right? And Xavier, they've got the lion's share of momentum. They won the last game, not only by a point, but by 2 points, and they've won 2 games in a row. So they are coming in hot. They are coming in ready to walk away with another 3-2 victory. We asked for a game 4. We got a game 5. We basically got a game 6 with a 5-minute overtime. Half a minute already off the clock, 0-0. I truly have no idea which way this goes.
It's impossible to call. Literally no way to know. And with that, I'm not even going to try to make a potential guess at all. It's been a bit of a slower start here. Some shots from farther distance, none really close to going in, but nice and on target. I will give both of these teams that. Their long shots have been quite consistently on target early on in this game.
For sure. And kind of going for those long shots is a dangerous thing. I mean, that's definitely not something we see often because you are, in a sense, if you miss the goal, you're giving up ball control, right? You're almost handing it away. So we definitely don't see teams bring that to the table super often, but, you know, if it works, it works. And if you don't get scored on, who cares you did it, right? As long as it works out at the end of the day, that's really what we're going to be keeping an eye out on.
That's right. Big Fat Goose Eggs still here with... Oh, a nice attempt there. Astro nearly did it all on his own, but not going to be. And again, it feels like there's a lot of ball chasing going on where it's sort of back and forth, everybody trying to make an individual play. We haven't seen this in many of those combo plays that we were so used to seeing from Butler earlier on. That was a good attempt at one, but it doesn't go through.
Yeah, I think you're spot on. We really have not seen that same level of team coordination, team communication. It's almost like it was handed off to Xavier, right? Because I feel like they've really picked up that torch, so to speak. Their team coordination, their improvement as a unit has really started to show in these later games. And I think that is by no means an accident.
Well, I mean, it's clear to me that they are evolving at a rate of knots here, Xavier. And again, a nice little clear, going to be met by Munch, who's been so good there in the midfield on that defensive touch.
Yeah, and right now, there's a world where this ends in a separate halftime. I mean, we might go into another overtime here. We're in that half. Nobody's scored yet. But again, that final minute is always the one I'm keeping an eye on because that seems to be when Butler really turns it up.
Oh, the attempted double tap there, Broseph. It's sort of been his signature move, hasn't it? He's got about 3 or 4 of them already, 2 of which in the prior game to put Xavier ahead by 2. But nonetheless, shots on target, but going to be cleared by Mofansky. This has been so close, and I cannot believe it's still tied. 0-0.
Yeah, the fact that it's not the fact that it's tied, the fact that it's still tied 0-0 in Game 5. We are literally waiting for anything to happen, and we almost got our wish right there. Unfortunately, it's going to get knocked out. Still a minute 45 left on the clock. I feel like I'm at such a loss for words with the roller coaster of emotions this ride has been up to this point.
I mean, my emotions don't know how to feel. I'll tell you what. Butler trying to get control back once again. It's been a good run for them, the Xavier side, but once again, the clears go through, and it feels like those 50-50s in mid are just going one way or the other, and they're consistently now going towards Butler.
Oh, we saw the attempt. An attempt was certainly made there to really turn things around, but unfortunately, attempts simply do not matter unless you're putting it away in that goal there. 60 seconds left. We are hanging out at 0-0, but this is the time where Butler always turns it up to 11. Let's see if they're able to do just that.
That was a big miss right there. Not going to hit that touch. Fortunately, saved by Kai. So another opportunity as Astro comes around the backside, and oh my goodness!
Wow!
Not able to get there. Let's take a look again. Kai, Mofansky, there's no way that he expects to get this as a goal. Yeah, no. Astro could have been there, but cannot quite get a touch to just push that ball a little bit further out to the right.
That was... There was so much that could have gone wrong there for Xavier. There were so many things that needed to play out perfect, and I don't know how they did it, but Mofansky did exactly that. They lined things up, they put the goal away, and now Butler, they are 30 seconds away from staring a reverse sweep in the face.
That's what it's looking like. But Butler, they got an opportunity here, 1 or 2, but oh no.
No shot.
I mean, yes shot, Valor's shot on target, and it's straight down the gut. That net's wide open, and Butler, I think they got caught up in needing to score here.
Yep.
They gave away a big opening, and that is I'm starting to see the Xavier reverse sweep just confirming itself into reality.
We always talk about how a team needs to have a strong offense and a strong defense, and I think, unfortunately, Butler may have gotten a little bit too far ahead of themselves, looking for only that strong strong offense, and they ended up losing the series for it. Xavier with the underdog story of a lifetime, coming out with a 3-2 victory over Butler there. I mean, I wanted a game 4. Not only did I get that, I got a game 5. I got a reverse sweep. I got everything on my Castro bingo card and more. That was just an amazing series. And Xavier, what a way to end a series. Amazing job.
Can confirm I did get bingo on my card as well. And with that, I mean, listen, 10 maps, 2 victories. That's the story of Xavier this season.
That's insane.
Yes. I mean, it is incredible. What a storyline. What a way to begin a season. Those close victories, they mean the most. And they're definitely going to mean a lot moving forward. It's those types of wins that absolutely just power you on. And oh my goodness, Xavier, I just feel as if they just went into Butler. They yoinked the win straight out of their hands. Butler, they were like just about to put up the trophy, and Xavier in that overtime session just knocked him over a little bit and grabbed that trophy straight out there. Absolutely impressive stuff from Xavier to pull that off.
Yeah, absolutely. And normally we wouldn't be able to do an interview right now because, we're way behind schedule. But fortunately enough, the teams that are coming up next aren't quite ready. So we are going to get to do an interview here with somebody from Xavier in just a minute. We'll be right back with that interview. Don't go far.